Hello everyone, happy Pokemon Day, happy Pokemon Gen 10 Reveal Day, happy new starters to look at and imagine the evolutions of day. We just had the Pokemon Presents presentation, Reveal Gen 10, so I'm here to talk about it, give it a real good talking about. While we're here though, may as well touch on the greater presentation, even though there wasn't really too much beyond the Gen 10 thing. I'm not complaining, because, I don't have, a super personal stake here or anything, but I am a little bit surprised. I kind of expected more from the big 30th anniversary. I feel like we have had Pokemon Presents in the past that have had more in the way of, big celebratory product announcement, crossover content and stuff. This felt very, I don't know, just kind of getting the job done, just kind of, going over all of the different mobile games. Okay, we're doing this for that, this for that. It was just, I don't know. There really just weren't as many, surprises as I expected, or, big announcements or anything. It was just kind of, it was pretty good. I mean, if anything, the biggest surprise new thing besides Gen 10 is, the little music thing. So it's, little Game Boys, but, you swap out the cartridges, but the cartridges themselves have songs on them. So it's, a little classic collection kind of thing. It's cute. It's a cute idea. It's definitely not my kind of thing, especially not for the price they're charging, and also for the price that you'll probably have to pay. It seems these are already pretty much gone. I don't know how much they plan on restocking these. Hopefully some. But yeah, I don't know. It's a cute idea. It's fun. I really do think they're just trying to, help us relive that feeling of swapping out cartridges. Everything is digital now. Everything is way too easy. It really was fun. The tactile nature of just swapping out cartridges. It's fun. It's clicky. I mean, it has me kind of wishing they would just do a re-release of the Game Boy itself, so that you're swapping out cartridges and it's the actual games. But I don't know. That'd be too much value. It's better if it's just music. But yeah, I don't know. It's a cute idea. I like it. But yeah, then the rest, it was just surprisingly normal. They gave us a little taste of the TCG stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a lot more just there, in the reveal of the cards that we saw, that people who play the TCG might be no, that was crazy. Yeah, Pokemon Go, Pokemon Sleep, this and that. They showed off champions, but I don't know, it didn't even really give us anything new. Maybe it's because there isn't really anything new. Maybe it's we all basically know how the product is going to be anyway. So it was just kind of a commercial for it, and this gave us, at least gave us a release window. It is coming pretty soon. Yeah, the Switch version is coming soon, and then the mobile one comes later. So it's still pretty cool. They gave a Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. We're waiting to see when we'd get that, and now we finally have that, and that's cool. So yeah, just a lot of little stuff. I guess I would say the Poptopia trailer was also pretty good. It didn't reveal a lot of new stuff, a little bit, it went into crafting recipes and feeding Pokemon different stuff, and that was kind of cool. But it also revealed a couple new Ditto transformations. That's fun. If anything though, if that trailer did anything, it just, it showed the bigness of the game a lot more so than I feel like the other material has done up until this point, showing building some big statue, sculpture, Minecraft style, but then also just exploring big mountainous, just verticality. It's a lot more verticality and just bigness than we have seen. And yeah, I don't know, it's really just, it really expanded the scope of the game in my mind, even further. So between the stuff that we got the other day and this, the world itself really is starting to feel everything they show about the gameplay is look, you can feed the Pokemon and make friends and make furniture and stuff. But then you see some of these shots where they're just exploring these big mountain areas, and I don't know. Yeah, I mean, as always, still looks really fun. We're gonna be playing it in a week, which is crazy. Also, I will say, giving us a trailer for the Mega Dimension DLC, which is already out. It's just it was just they just wanted to give it to us again. They just wanted to advertise it again. I don't know. I don't know exactly why. And then they kind of turned it into a thing revealing Garchomp Z Mega variant, which is cool. But I don't know. You could have just had that part. What was the whole lead up? What was just a new trailer for Mega Dimension? I just didn't quite get it. So yeah, overall, the entire presentation was surprisingly tame for a big giant mega 30-year anniversary kind of thing. But like at the same time, I don't know. Who cares? It was also fine. So let's talk about Pokemon Gen 10, Pokemon Winds and Waves. And yes, the leaks were true. Like I mean, there was no doubt, you know, big data breach, like a bunch of the other stuff ended up being, it was all true. Like basically it was like, we had all of their plans for like the next few years. It all ended up being true. And, you know, as far as like things that are past this point, some of these things may not end up being real. They may not materialize, or they may. But as far as Gen 10 goes, yeah, no, it was the name, Winds and Waves, the entire theme, it being just like a very ocean theme, underwater exploration. There probably are other details from that leak that were not like present and obvious in this trailer. So there probably is still more information about this that we technically have. But I'm trying, I only very briefly touched on the leaks when I saw them, because I do kind of want to be sort of surprised. So like I saw like the broad strokes of it, and I don't really remember much beyond that. So I'm gonna keep it that way. But yeah, like this is that, like it ended up being very, very, very true. But also looks good, looks great, looks really good. You know, I'm not surprised. I'm really not surprised. Like, these visuals look good. The graphics look good. Because, like, even in Scarlet and Violet, like, those games, it ran terribly, and you could even see it in the trailer. Because that's the thing about a trailer, is you can, like, you know, it's like taking pictures of someone's best side. You know, it's like that. They tried to package the trailers and keep everything really fast so we couldn't really see what was going on. So they tried to make the game look as good as they possibly could. And they did a pretty good job, but there's only so much you can do. And so it was still pretty obvious from the initial trailers of Scarlet and Violet that, like, yeah, it was looking pretty rough. But here, we're not getting that at all. We're not getting those vibes. The frame rate looks stable. You know, resolution looks okay. Just the overall image fidelity, just the all of it, the art direction, everything. It looks good. It looks solid. And, like, it's I always expected that it would. You know, I even talked about it in my predictions video. I predicted that, like, the game would, like, be good. It would be fine. I feel like this idea that Pokemon is always going to screw up and always going to deliver, like, the bare minimum gross experience. I don't believe that's true. I think every project is different. Sword and Shield were really rushed, so they looked nice. The presentation was fine, and it ran fine. It just didn't have any content. And then Scarlet and Violet, obviously, they did the big open world. They just didn't have the time to refine it, to polish that. So it was just very janky and messy. And, but I don't, like, we've seen competent, yeah, and then, like, Legend ZA. It looks bad, but that's because it had a super low budget, and they just didn't give it any love. But then Arceus looked pretty good, you know, not Breath of the Wild good, but it was good, it was fine, it was competent. So I know they're capable of doing it, and, I don't know, it seemed likely to me that Gen 10 would be pretty good. And I think that's what we're seeing here. It's not mind-blowing, it's not the best graphics in the entire world, it's not, like, the best possible graphics you could expect from the Switch 2, but it's good, it's fine, it's competent, it looks nice. It actually does look nice. I mean, really just based on, like, the leaks and knowing that it was going to be Winds and Waves and water-based and islands and stuff, it's kind of uncanny how exactly it looks the way that I pictured it in my mind. Like, really, like, when I just pictured the game, this is almost it, like, one-to-one. You know, not like the specific details of having, like, this big, like, I love this, like, water slide tower. That's pretty cool. But just as far as, like, yeah, the quality, the image quality, the art and everything, and just thematically, it's basically it. Yeah, I don't know. It's like they ripped it straight out of my brain. And yeah, you know, I mean, it's really a teaser. Doesn't really give any information about just like mechanically how the game's gonna work. Because, you know, they've been playing around with like active catching and active battling and all that stuff. I'm not going to get my hopes up or down one way or the other. It was all very, very vague here. The only like specific details we have, well, there's the starters for one. And I'm going to hold off on talking about the starters too much right now. I think they deserve their own video. I think I want to do a whole video just kind of breaking them down and taking a look and giving my thoughts and stuff. I think that would be fun. But, you know, obviously with the generation reveal, At the very, very least, they're going to give us the starters, and so that was really nice. Yeah, beyond that, not a lot of, like, you know, tangible on paper details on the website. They gave us a little bit. Apparently, the, like, outfit. I mean, it says the outfit. Does that just mean, like, the starting outfit? Because you're not going to be able to change the outfit? Whatever the case, though, the outfit that you start with is different in Winds and Waves. Okay, that's cute. Kind of a different little costume there. That's fun. The little Pikachus from the beginning. Apparently they're named Mr. Windy Chew and Miss Wavy Chew. And that's cute. That's funny. I do have to wonder if they're going to be like part of the plot. You know, like kind of like little characters in the plot. This is making me think that like Pokemon dress up might be a lot more of a thing. It might not. This may just be their attempt to just kind of, you know, turn the Pikachu into a little bit more of an evolved character. I mean, you know, not character. They're not going to be like speaking or anything, probably. Maybe. Guess we technically don't know. This could just be them kind of being formed into more characters, but I really do feel like this could be a hint that we're going to get some sort of like much deeper, like the Pokemon themselves we can play dress up and put. I mean, I've kind of been waiting for that. I really have been. I mean, that's a whole thing. That's a whole thing right there. Like, if Pokemon is ever going to start putting microtransactions in their mainline games, it would be when you introduce all of this, the customizations, the cosmetics. I certainly hope that never happens. But yeah, at least, like, as a mechanic in the game, would not be surprised if we can start giving them little hats and costumes and stuff. Even though I do recognize that, like, as far as programming goes, that does kind of seem like a nightmare. Like, hats, maybe. You could stick, like, a hat on any Pokemon's head, but, like, going any further than that may be tough. But we'll see. We'll see if that ends up being a thing. Yeah, that's pretty much all the other information that they shared. The rest is just what we can see here, and really all we can see is that it's called Wind and Waves, and we see it's a tropical environment, and you can go underwater. So there's going to be some kind of underwater exploration. And then we have the starters and no other new Pokemon that I could see. So, I mean, I am very excited. You know, I will say the overall theming, I think is great. I think it is, I just think it's really nice. You know, I love the ocean. I love water. I love tropical themes. I mean, you know, it is a theme that they've returned to a good number of times in the games, but I think it's because it's just a very strong theme, and especially as the technology evolves and they're able to do more with the games, it's worth returning to this. There's just a lot of water, especially now if we're going to be going underwater, and especially because now it's an open world. You know, Scarlet and Violet was really the beginning of like a true open, seamless world, and so now the idea of having that, but with all of these islands and underwater exploration and everything, that's very exciting. It really, really is very exciting. And I'm very curious to know if there's going to be some sort of like progression kind of system, or if it's all going to be open to you from the start. We really don't know. Personally, I'm always hoping for like kind of a happy medium. I like a big world where you have this feeling that you can go anywhere that you can. So there's like a lot of openness, but then some of it is kind of ability based, you know, like, oh, to get over this water, we need this kind of thing that lets us move through whirlpools or something. Like, I want some stuff to be gated off, or like some areas of the map to be gated off, while still providing me with a lot of freedom of choice with like what I do have. I want to have my cake and eat it too, you know. I want the satisfaction of sandbox, like open-ended, non-linear exploration, and also the satisfaction of progressing through the game and upgrading my abilities and earning new parts of the map. So do that perfectly. Just mix those two things perfectly, and we'll be good. No, so yeah, I mean, I guess that is basically it. That's really all there is to say, is that it looks good. It just looks good. There's no, you know what, that's it. There's no red flags. Let's say that. That's a really good way to put it. No red flags. And for Pokemon, that's big. You know, they've set that bar. They've set that bar a little bit low in some categories. So just looking at this trailer and being like, it looks good. It's nice. Really nice environments. We even saw like a pretty okay like mix of environments. Of course, most of it is just kind of like tropical islands, but even within there, you have night and day. You have this, yeah, this big building thing, these different beaches. You have like more like cave areas. There's a swampier area, and you know, just to come back to the idea of underwater exploration again, it's kind of hitting me. Like, the more I think about it and the more I watch this trailer, it is hitting me how, like, that is kind of a big deal. Because, like, you know, you look at the game, or you imagine the game, and it's probably like just a bunch of islands. Maybe there's like one big central island and some surrounding islands, but like, I don't really know. But whatever the case, though, if you are able to go in the water, does that mean it's gonna be like, I mean, you know, they could limit it. It could be like kind of like wild areas, like, oh, there's like what do you call that in the ocean, where there's a part where it go down, a part where it be much deeper. It could be that the game will have like a set amount of like these areas, and it'll be kind of like wild zones in, you know, like in Sword and Shield or whatever. Like, you go over here, then you explore the area. But if not, it's possible that it's just kind of like, nah, whenever you just jump in the water, you're in the water. The water is just another part of the landscape to explore. And if that be the case, if that's the case, then that would be really interesting. That would be really fun if just all the time underwater is just kind of like it's like a second world for you to explore. It's just another map. And, you know, and of course my imagination goes kind of wild imagining the sort of stuff you could find under there. And I definitely can't get my hopes up, you know. One, because it's never a good idea, but two, of course, because it's Pokemon. You know, they I don't know how much they'll do the idea justice. I don't know how deep they want to go with it. I love the idea of finding all sort, like, there's got to be like an underwater city or something. There's got to be some kind of like Atlantis stuff going on here. I like the idea of finding underwater caves, or like sections where you go way, way deep down so that it's really dark, and then you get like anglerfish and stuff. New anglerfish Pokemon. I hope so. I hope it's not all just this like shiny up on the surface kind of exploration. I want them to do the idea justice. I want them to really, really explore it thematically. But yeah, definitely can't hold my breath, but I'm cha. But I like the idea. I like everything I've seen here. It all just looks good. It all just looks good. And that's nice. Breathe a sigh of relief. Again, I'm not like surprised. It's basically what I expected. You know, it's running on the Switch 2. They've got a lot more horsepower, and that's not to say that that would solve everything immediately. Obviously, like, the Switch had enough horsepower to do open world games. Plenty of people made open world games, and it was fine. Pokemon just didn't have like the time or the experience or the whatever, the care to really refine the experience. But it seems they have now. It seems to be running okay, and it looks okay. Again, nothing groundbreaking, nothing incredible, but like good. But good. Good atmosphere, good colors, good stuff. I'm looking forward to... Okay, well, the final thing to talk about, 2027. That is kind of shocking. That's kind of shocking. I mean, they probably delayed it because I have been so firm about it coming this year. Like, I've said it in too many videos. Well, definitely Gen 10 is going to be the holiday title this year. And they were like, uh-oh, we got to change it now. Arlo is completely sure it's going to happen, and he said it 10 times, so we got to change it. No, that is weird. That is very, very strange, especially if they're going to reveal it now. It's still only February. It's still pretty early in the year. I was sure that this would be their big holiday game. And if not this, then what? Pokemon always has something for the holiday, whether it's a game or mainline or a remake or Legends or a big DLC. But like, they already gave us the big DLC for ZA, and they didn't announce another. I mean, okay, maybe they'll announce Black and White remakes this June, and we'll get that in the holiday. But I don't know. I don't think so. Why would they not have a game ready for the holidays? Especially on the big 30th anniversary. That's strange. Why is this coming 2027? And is it, I mean, there's no way it's going to be holiday 2027, right? It's going to be early 2027, but then like, okay, but then what's the holiday for that year, for next year? It's confusing. It's strange. And of course the hope, I can't get my hopes up But of course, the hope is that this is just them delaying it, that they planned on giving it to us this holiday, but even now, even almost a year away, they were like, no, we think we're gonna need more time. And you know what? We want to do it. We want to actually like make the game good. We want to avoid all the dumb controversy. We want to polish the game. And so they delayed it a bit. I don't know if that's what happened, because it's just a little hard to believe just based on their past actions. But yeah, I don't know. A little bit strange. Definitely, you know, as a person who wants to play the game, a little bit disappointing. Like, what, do we gotta wait for a year? And that's if they release it early next year? Yeah, it's just surprising. I don't know. Maybe it's kind of like with ZA. They did reveal that like a long time before release. So maybe they just wanted to get us excited, give us a taste of something really exciting for Pokemon Day as part of the celebration, but they still have a lot of work to do on it. I don't know. Weird, but I am receptive. I'm receptive to the idea of a Pokemon game that is not just absolutely forced to meet that deadline to release no matter, just no matter what state it's in, no matter how embarrassing it is, you gotta get it on the shelf. If they could break away from that mindset all by itself, that would make a really, really big difference with Pokemon and the quality of the games and how we receive the games. So yeah, looking forward to seeing a little bit more, any more details on what the release window actually is, or if they have anything else coming this holiday or what. Man, that puts a lot more pressure on Nintendo, doesn't it? That puts a lot more pressure on Nintendo to give us a really big holiday game this year, because they didn't last year, and if we don't have Gen 10 this year, then like, yeah, we'll see. We'll see what it is. So yeah, that's it. Pokemon Gen 10, that's the reveal. And yeah, maybe in a separate video, I'll probably talk about the starters, but for now, it's looking good.